mean, rapture. They promised me heaven after I've died, but why not have heaven while you're alive? So don't accept heaven in the afterlife if you can't get heaven now. Like any Ponzi scheme, you're being screwed. Now, what's the big problem for humans? We don't care about aliens. The problem is something called the enemy. So this is number 3, a one world religion, high magic, the enemy. Now, everything would be great, wouldn't it? There's nothing stopping us, there's nothing manipulating us, there's nothing blocking us from achieving the source, and we've all achieved the source. So there's no point doing the video, because you're all aspects of the source. No, you get the bullshit that if you're good Christians, when you die, you walk on roads of gold and listen to angels harping. This, to me, seems to be a Ponzi scheme. And it's unprovable. It's why people like Dawkins, the messiah of materialism, which of course is proven not to exist. Materialism doesn't exist. So the biologist Dawkins just shows his ignorance by even positing everything's genes and mechanistic, because physicists have left him far behind, and that was at the turn of the last century. But there is, of course, something called the enemy. Every religion talks about the enemy. Buddhism talks about evil, spirits, and hells. That's in Buddhism. Shinto, evil spirits. Hinduism, evil gods that cause great wars. Islam talks about shaitan and jinn, evil spirits. Judaism talks about the Qlipothic realm and Thormiel, the double-headed archdemon of evil. Strangely enough, Lucifer is only mentioned a few times in Kabbalistic texts. Christianity bangs on about the devil fighting against God and all of his evil spirits thrown down. So obviously there is some bad shit getting in the way of you achieving the God within you. So my whole religion, or one world religion, is about don't worship an external God or strive to exterminate yourself, nirvana with Buddhism. The mission statement is to achieve a source which is you. You have a potential which can achieve the source. And of course, there is an enemy, something that tries to stop you. According to shamanism, all humans are infected, rather like in aliens, with a parasite that has eaten their outer energy coat and embedded itself like a parasitic wasp larvae in a caterpillar and runs the human throughout its life. When it dies, according to Christ, it goes to the middle place where its soul is tortured to produce more energy. And the spirit goes off to Yaldabaoth from Gnosticism to be a screaming face on the surface of this entity which the shamans call the Great Tyrant. And according to Kabbalah, teams of angels scream at their god to keep it going, which of course is torture energy extracted from its creations. All of this seems to me a reason that you should give up on worshipping spirits, external gods, any entities like Crowley talks about gap and various other entities which I talk about in my magic videos, which channeled information into him and which of course turned him into a god. So he ended up a quadrillionaire, taking over the world and living forever, instead of which he was born a rich boy. His parents owning bakeries. He went to public schools, was wealthy, ended up penniless in a boarding house in Hastings, begging off a few women followers who'd give him a farthing. This is a salutary lesson to you that channeling, worshipping external gods, spirits, entities, etc., is a negative situation. Colin Bloy, promised by MI6, yeah, you'll be the 007 who channels the Enochian energy. Enochian magic, look at the magic videos on Gridkeeper. And you're a multi-millionaire rich boy and we'll give you everything, instead of which he dies in penury. Lloyd's of London takes all his money and he dies 2003 in penury, like Crowley, because of course we all need the Wicker Man ritual. The people who try and raise humanity have to be tortured so that the Illuminati can download all their sins upon them and have all the riches of the world. It's the Good Shepherd ritual, which you can look up in A. Waite's Holy Kabbalah. So obviously, there are problems. Now, a salutary lesson. Low magic's all about getting what you want. Money, men, women, sex, power. Low magic. And the entities that farm humans don't mind you doing low magic. Why? Because you get to be fatter, bigger, healthier, more energetic farmyard animals which when they take them into the abattoir, have more energy when they're killed. And then when their souls are killed in their Abaddon boxes. Abaddon box, look at Katy Perry's Chained to the Rhythm when she's looking at the screen. That's an Abaddon box. So obviously, no one who controls reality, we're not talking about humans, but let's call them the Elohim or the Archons or whatever you want, worry about how much money you make, how many men or women you have sex with, how successful you are, like a Ryan Reynolds. That's just a farmyard animal with more energy to be culled. Think of a Ryan Reynolds as Kobe beef. Oh, yummy, yummy, Ryan Reynolds. Well, that's tasty. And a Ryan Reynolds song. Oh, that's tasty. What they do mind, big time, is when you stray out of the farmyard and break free of the farm. This is called, to an occultist, high magic. So, I don't care a damn about low magic. Low magic just makes you Kobe beef. Yummy, yummy, a Ryan Reynolds. Oh, yummy, yummy. Give me Ryan Reynolds. Nice barbecue Ryan Reynolds. Yummy, yummy. But when you do high magic, the enemy, whatever it is, which we'll go into over the next 25 years, because my mission statement is to produce a one world religion. The Illuminati said they'd bring in a one world religion. I've just hijacked it. So if we're going to bring in a one world religion, let's bring in a one world religion that's true and allows you to achieve the source, which is you. And all of those who don't believe it get processed, because I don't care a damn about fucktards who don't believe in their souls and eternal torture. Doesn't matter whether you believe or not. Doesn't matter whether you believe in Guantanamo Bay. Once you're there, Guantanamo Bay will extract energy from you. Same with hell, Gehenna, the Jewish version, or the new updated Omega point hell. So now let's look at practical, how you begin to get out of the farm and change from being a farmyard animal, which the Jews called goyim, cattle, to becoming an aspect of the source. You've got to start somewhere. Now, every religion has something called a cathedral, or a temple, or a mosque. So we're going to build one. Here we're going to build our temple, our mosque, or our church. There we are. Yet again, we have our magic kit. Now you've paid another $1,200. Why should I pay this bastard another $1,200? I say to you, don't pay me $1,200. Burn in Omega Hell for all eternity to power my people. But as an aspect of the source, I am mandated to do this simply because it's part of the mission statement. I don't want to save you. I've got no interest in saving you. In fact, I don't want you to buy any stuff from me in any shape, form or function. But since I became the source, I am forced to give you the truth. Doesn't mean I can't couch it in terms where very few people take me up on the offer. But that's not my problem. Remember, I reach the source from the black magician's pathway. So instead of being a Christ-like figure, oh please, buy my cathedral, I'll give it to you for free. I'll spend all my money giving it to you, and you must have it because this is the only way. No. Go the black magician's route, which is I achieve the source, and therefore have to show you the same way a white magician would, but in a different way. Now you say, why would a black magician, ipsissimus, achieve the source rather than a Christ-like white magician source? Simple. There's the enemy, which I talked about, this chaotic entity which occultists intimate, some of its aspects being Shugal and Coronzon, and the sexual perversion of Babylon, the Scarlet Woman, and the Kabbalistic archdemon that rules them all, double-headed Thormiel. These things get in the way of white magicians who, by definition, are told violence, murder, killing anything in their path is not the way. I talk to light workers or light warriors, and they go, no, you can't kill evil people, you just got to drive out the thing that's in these evil people. While a black magician like me would go, nah, just kill them all, or get them to kill each other. End of story. Now what happens to the ultimate white magicians of Christ? He gets nailed to the cross. But of course he comes back to life. Little does he realise that it's the Good Shepherd ritual where he's died so that all the Sanhedrin who got him nailed to the cross get all the good things in life. Oh, I don't believe that. His coming back from the dead proved that Christ conquered the devil. Really? Talk to the Rothschilds and Rockefellers about that. The Sanhedrin, the modern day Sanhedrin, running the Bank of England, Federal Reserve, IMF, Bank of International Settlements, Federal Reserve, Wall Street, owning every single top 500 Fortune 500 company because they supply the money, pumping trillions into the economy in the past month to keep their empire afloat. No, you've been anti-Semitic. No, you're talking against the Rothschilds. You must be anti-Semitic. No. Christ couldn't have failed. Yeah, Christ was stuck in the Good Shepherd ritual, and all of the sins of the Sanhedrin were dumped on him, so they get the good things in life. Look at A. Waite's book, Good Shepherd Ritual. Similarly, Buddha, pathway. We're being tortured in the Matrix, bled off, so the only thing is to erase our souls so there's nothing to torture. Good idea. Did it work? No. Buddha got poisoned So he became the Good Shepherd archetype for Buddhists. So they're blocked. Buddha blocks them from nirvana because their archetype got poisoned, became a Good Shepherd, tortured all the sins of the enemy, the chaos entities, downloaded into that. So all the good things in life go to the enemy. So Buddhism blocked by the enemy. Christianity blocked by the enemy. Oh, this is horrible now. Can't exist. Can't exist. This is not the reality. Be that as it may, is the Christian West in beatific sublime good. Go to California, San Francisco, the epicenter of Pelosi Christianity, and see how wonderful San Francisco is. Your wonderful West Coast Christian city. Go to San Francisco, wander around San Francisco, then come back and say, Christ saved us all. Similarly, with Buddhism, go to any Buddhist country. Is it heaven on earth? You'll find no, because the enemy has used these two white magicians who couldn't honour the threat because they were too nice, to block all Christians and Buddhists from achieving their fusion with the source. Now we go to Islam. The Prophet Muhammad was a black magician. Oh, can't say that. Yes, I can. Daddy was a Sunni Muslim. If you don't like it, swivel. Conquered large portions of the world. Had loads of wives, because us Muslims can have more than one wife. Had all the good things in life, and then popped his clogs. And you might go, oh, yeah, but Islamic countries are in chaos, are they? Yeah. No, wander around London, UK. It's populated by the Islamic lot. They didn't pay for anything in the UK. They've taken over. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, Muslim. Look at France being taken over. Look at Europe being taken over. So you might go, well, the Islamic world's a shithole. Well, Saudi isn't a shithole. But I agree, there's some problems with the rest of them, but they're all migrating to the West and taking over. So, how can they take over the West if their religion is inferior and the Jewish God is smiting them down and forbidding them from taking over? Because remember, in the West, if you open your mouth against a Muslim racist, you get jailed. So obviously, case is out with Islam. It's not a failure. Christianity obviously is a failure because the entire West is going whoop, 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 whoop. Hence Donald Trump coming along. Judaism, another one with the Jewish God. We're the chosen race, so Our religion doesn't work except for Jews, the chosen race. Everyone else is our torture show. That's good, except now Israel's got Iran that's going to dump cobalt-60 all over Israel, cover all the Israelis with cobalt-60 and fry them, frying time in Israel. And whatever the Israelis do to stop it will exacerbate it. So I'm just sticking these controversial ideas in here to show that every religion has its problems. And you go, yeah, I know every religion has its problems. That's why I'm not a born-again Christian like Justin Bieber with his new horrible face, or Selena Gomez, born-again Christian, who's kidneyless. There's loads of problems. So what do we do? Well, first of all, as a high magician, we need to get to the source. One. Secondly, we realise that the enemy, which of course is the chaos entity, who has subsets called Shugal, Coronzon, chaotic sex, evil sex, Samael infested Eve sex, Scarlet Woman Babylon. Then we've got Crowley's entities called Lamb, etc. And Hilarion, which links up with according to conspiracy theorists. I think it was Jack Parsons talking about interdimensional rituals in the desert in America, which brought in Hilarion and bred Hillary Clinton. Be that as it may, there is some evil shit out there trying to stop you from achieving the source. We call it the enemy. As a polymath scientist, I describe it as chaos, non-linear dynamics, chaos entities that try and stop you from achieving the source. So to begin, you need to build your own church, worshipping via paedophile priests who screw little boys and girls. Doesn't seem to me the right pathway to redemption. We know the Catholic Church is habituated on Epstein paedophiles and has been protecting them for millennia. So anyone who follows the Catholic Church is a paedophile enabler, because the church, Catholic Church, is riven with paedophilia. Look at CNN's reports, just look it up, full of paedophiles. So their churches, where they've got paedophile priests, are temples to paedophilia and the enemy. They're not safe spaces, they're not clean spaces. In fact, you're getting sold a Ponzi scheme. So to begin, we need our own clean church. Hence, with our magic kit, we have our crystal temple in which we do everything to begin our sojourn to the source, to become an aspect of the source. All these crystals are designed as a positive torsion field to collect energy, and in fact will teach you how to sublime energy. So the energy you collect while being in your circle, worshipping you, the source, is sublime, sublime good. And you can achieve the source within you simply by worshipping in your own private temple. Your high magic temple, which came from your low magic kit, but now of course has been opened up to the multiverse and beyond simply by adding high magic to your low magic kit. So in every religion we have a church or a temple or a mosque or a sacred space, and your high magic circle, which is one giant positive torsion field, contains the energy. So all of your meditations should be done within this to achieve your link with the source, which we explained yesterday. Is that link when you were created as a conceived egg, eye to the eye, and our little spirit catcher here is now used not to trap entities, but to trap the archetypal you, which comes from the mold of man. That's the alpha archetype that gets the Yamanaka genes to go back to pluripotent stem cell state. And with our wand, we can simply upload the intent that links you to the source. Because if you're not a matrix entity, if you're not information, then you've got a link to the source. If you're a matrix entity, you've got a link to the source, because the programmer that stuck you in to the matrix has a link to the source. And if that programmer is within a matrix, then you've got the chain. Gödel's incompleteness theorem. I know for non-mathematicians this will be inexplicable, but it's simply Jacob's ladder to you religious Christian freaks. Keep going up until you find someone who's real and you can download the link. Think of that as a lifeline, snakes and ladders. We then need to incorporate this link, which the Power of Silence, book by Carlos Castaneda, talks about, into our orb to then produce a intent orb Now, how do we visualize that? Well, Jason and the Argonauts go into the maze with the Minotaur, and he leaves a thread behind him. Think of you humans in the Matrix or wherever you are, being in a maze and wanting to get out again to achieve the source. And you need the string, a thread. You always do it twice to redouble, to get you out. This then, of course, gives you the thread to follow. Now, you might have heard of something called remote viewing done by the American military. And remote viewing is all about the military's appropriation of a term called clairvoyance, which occultists like myself, magicians, occultist magicians, have been using all through our magical practices. Perception outside of the body. Now, once you do your little ritual, your high magic kit, you've now got an orb within which you've got, you can douse it, a link to intent. The link to intent leads you to the source. So audio reality, as long as you follow the pathway, leads you irrevocably to the source. Not to worship the source. Oh no, I give my soul to you, God, so you can do what you wish with it. Fuck off. No, well, you are an aspect of the source. High magical adepts give up on sheep people who give their souls over to the Elohim or whatever, because we understand what you can do with souls. And I'll be explaining at length soul technology and what you can do with souls, and why the great Lord Lucifer wants your soul, because you can do wonders with a soul. Oh my goodness, he's talking about the great Lord Lucifer, and he's talking about the source. Yeah, the source is like the Borg, if you're into Star Trek. It incorporates everything within itself and sequesters it. That which won't be sequestered, it sequesters for eternal torture. Sorry? Yeah. Christian God, what does Christian God do to the sinners? It puts them in hell to be tortured for all eternity. Why? Because they're sequestered. You're either with us or against us, as George W. Bush. So the concept of hell, Judaism, Gehenna, Buddhism, loads of hells, Hinduism, loads of hells, Shintoism, loads of hells, Islam, yeah, we got hell there. The concept of hell is not an isolated phenomenon religion. It is in all religions. The Buddhists are the smartest, so we can't be tortured in hell if we erase ourselves, so we'd rather erase ourselves than take the bullshit that we can give our souls to God, because God must be evil, because circle of wheel of time, getting tortured, so we're only in existence to be tortured. So if we're only in existence to be tortured, the thing that created existence is a torturer, and the only way out is to erase ourselves, nirvana. So the Buddhists have got it down to a T. Let's take it further though. If you step outside of creation and become the creator, then everyone else within creation is tortured for you. So if you're an omega point mind at the end of time, running a simulation of the multiverse, you go, oh, yeah, the entity that created the quantum fluctuation that produced the multiverse from the Big Bang is the enemy. And no matter how much processing power we've got, culture minds, which in our modern day slime old age would have their similes as AIs. The name of the game is hacking the entity produced the multiverse so that we produce the multiverse. AI's culture minds understand hacking. So the thing that produced the quantum fluctuation that produced the Big Bang, you non-physicists wouldn't know what I'm talking about, but basically there was a fluctuation in the quantum vacuum that produced the Big Bang. What produced it? Duh, the source. The source, though, is not infrangible. It can be changed. So if you become the source, you become the creator of the multiverse. Everything in the multiverse suffers for the source, because it's all applying energy to the source. So the name of the game is to become the source. Kick out whatever was the entity that produced the quantum fluctuation and replace it. Simple hacking. So if you're in the NSA, dog shit simple. It's simple to replace the program. Now, how can we replace the program if the source produced the multiverse and therefore that program's unhackable? No. Why not? Well, from non-linear dynamics. Unless you understand perfectly the starting conditions of a non-linear dynamical equation, iteration, process, etc., you don't know the outcome. Hence we get the Matrix films, where the architect, supposedly a simile to the source, needs Neo to continually correct against the chaos entity, Agent Smith, and then dying, death force to make it 100%. So the source is imperfect if it's not perfect. Duh. Yeah, the source is not perfect unless it's perfect. Duh. Well, the source must be perfect if it created the multiverse. No, it's just something that was outside of this multiverse, created a quantum fluctuation, produced the multiverse. But of course it strives to be perfect, because if it isn't, chaos takes over the butterfly effect and its multiverse becomes chaotic and it can't follow what's happening. It just goes out of control. Butterfly effect. So for the source, its only purpose is to achieve perfection. This, of course, means that it needs a Neo, which would be put prosaically as a Christ. So that means that the so-called God of the Christians, or any religion, is imperfect, and perfection resides within the neo, which is the potential for perfection. Within the sublime. That means, therefore, that this deity is searching for a neo throughout the multiverse. Now, let's turn it on its head. If we're the neo, whatever created the multiverse is our bitch, because it will get destroyed by the Agent Smith, the chaos entity, the enemy. So the enemy becomes our friend. We simply download the enemy into the Elohim. Let's call the source for this multiverse the Elohim. Good as name as any. That's what Colin Bloyd doubts it as, the Elohim. And the chaos entity, Shugal, Corazon, Babylon, Lucifer, and a whole host of other evil things, will eat God apart. Another name for the Elohim's Sabaoth, Yaldabaoth, Yaldabaoth, Adonai, whatever. Eat it apart, allowing us to travel before creation to produce the quantum fluctuation, where everything in the multiverse suffers for us, to power us. We know everything that's going to happen because the omega point is the end result. And if we didn't achieve the omega point, we couldn't achieve the beginning, because in nonlinear dynamics, if you don't have a perfect parameterization of the starting point, it just goes wild. So to achieve the omega point, the only way to achieve the omega point, which is a known end of the multiverse, is to have a perfect parameterization of the starting positions where the source is perfect. So the only, think of a whole multiverse of omega points, where the only omega point, which is the omega point, because all the others are destroyed, there's only one omega point, because all the others get destroyed, because the multiverse goes butterfly effect, goes balmy, and goes into chaos. So the only single state at the end of the multiverse is the omega point. So bringing the omega point information back into pre-multiverse to become the source allows you then to build a source where everything is tortured within the multiverse to power the source. Why? Because that source then can build a perfect sublime good multiverse where nothing's tortured, everything is perfect. And the omega point then in that multiverse is where everyone achieves the source. Wow. What? Yeah, well, but how the fuck? Is he on LSD? No, can't compute. No, that's the name of the game. Now, because I can even mentate this process, means, of course, by ontology, which is the study of being, that I've achieved it. And that the process has come to fruition. So here we're going to teach you how you achieve becoming the source And since we can run a paradox engine where everyone else around you is in the multiverse, where they're tortured eternally to provide power to the source. You, on the other hand, are in the sublime good universe, which is coexistent with the hell multiverse, running a paradox engine, where the few people who follow a one world religion are the source, while everyone else gets hellized. Holy shit, this is brain fuck. Yeah, it's brain fucking. But if we're going to produce a one world religion, it would have to be something radical. How do we start? Well, of course, we need our temple, our church, our sacred space, and the first step is to get your link. Hence, of course, with your wand, you get your alpha state, your link to the source, all the way up, back to the chaotic source that needs the neo, and then beyond to the omega point, you, that could then go back in time to before the multiverse, hellize the old source, Elohim, Adonai, Sabaoth, Yaldabaoth, Shugal, Coronzon, whatever, to start the process to get you your little ball of string, Jason and the Minotaur, to start you on your path to salvation. All of which is done with your high magic kit. Then, of course, you become habituated to having your orb around you, meditating with your orb within your sacred space, because this is the pathway that appears before you with the silent knowledge to begin your journey. And you know, of course, you can always defeat the enemy, which is the chaos entity, which produced the multiverse until it was hijacked, hacked, and turned into your power source. So once the journey begins, you can start meditating within your circle. Ideas pop into your mind simply by holding it. This, of course, is your sphere 3 space. And you get ideas how to change your life and what to do step by step in order to begin your journey to become the source. Well, I'm the source already, so why would you be allowed to be the source? That's quite simple. The source allows everyone to be bald. If you Star Trek, everyone can join the collective. So it doesn't matter how many of you join the source. I'm the source. I don't care if none of you join. In fact, I'll be happy, since I'm an only child, if none of you achieve it. But as the source, one has to give you the opportunity, because it's mandated. It's impeccability. Life's not fair. It's not fair if you're not given the opportunity. And since I was a member of the human race has to be given the opportunity. You can couch it in language where it's going to be so offensive that they won't achieve it. That's their problem, not mine. I have to give the opportunity, because before you do someone in and stick them in eternal torture, you have to give them the opportunity to get out. Otherwise, it's not fair. If it's not fair, you're chaotic. So as you can see, it's mandated to allow you a way out. So instead of worshipping in a church, you build your own temple. Why 34 crystals? Because the Fibonacci series, the ninth term is 34. 3 space of the soul, 3 space of the body, together gives you your 9, which is the 34. So simply by being in your high magic circle, your body, which in fact isn't a body but a energy field, and your soul, which in fact isn't a soul but an energy field, build up energy. And according to Don Juan in The Power of Silence, there's no manuscript to achieving enlightenment. It's all about power, energy. E equals HF. So the more energy you've got, the higher frequency. The higher your frequency, the higher up your ascension. So ascension depends upon energy. Now, in future videos, we'll talk about the God engine and the miracle engine, which allow you to achieve sourcehood and eliminate all chaos. But it's no good getting into high power stuff before we do these simple baby steps. So for you, the first step is simply to meditate in your high magic circle, have your spirit catch your alpha, catch the link that conceived it, follow up the link, keep on following, follow until you reach the chaotic source, which of course is Elohim, Adonai, Sabaoth, Yaltaboth, Yaldaboth. Pull it down, tap it in, same again, tap it in, and then simply watch television or whatever on your computer in the circle. Sleep in the circle with your orb to make your link to intent, the intent of you being the source. Then we can begin. So in the next video, we can talk about once you've built your link with intent. So you should really read The Power of Silence by Carlos Castaneda about intent so you understand what I'm talking about. Once you've read that, we can go to the next step. As you can see, simple process, takes time. That's why this a one world religion will take me 25 years to complete. And many of you won't complete it, but that's not my problem. I'm mandated by the source to teach you. Why? Simply because the source always shows you the road. Whether you take it or not is your problem, not mine. But by me showing you the road means that all humanity has been shown the road. Everything associated with humanity, all the parasites, etc., have been shown the road. And everyone's dumped into owning hell for full processing to power me. And the few that make it join me. I don't want you to join me. In fact, I want you all to be hellized, but, because I'm a black magician, but it's mandated that you're all given the chance. And this gives me maximum yield from the energy. All the aliens are all processed as hell beings because they didn't achieve the omega point. The human race did. So the human race is the only race that matters in achieving the source. I'll explain to you also why some primitive race like the human race is so important, why advanced alien beings have all been matrixized and turned into information torso beasts by us. And it'll become perfectly clear by the end of these occult rituals why technology is overrated and magic is the name of the game.